Not all lineages flow through blood. Some flow through light. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Welcome back to our channel. After a comprehensive overview about the 67 types of angels created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are now moving towards the Malak al-Hifz Nasab Al Batin, the angel who protects the hidden spiritual lineage. Before the first circle of dhikr ever formed, before the first seeker ever sat in the presence of a master, before the first Allah trembled from human lips, there existed an angel whose duty was older than saints and older than the world. This angel is known in the halls of the unseen as Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab Al Batin, the guardian of hidden spiritual lineage. He does not guard blood, he does not guard families, he guards the spiritual inheritance that flows silently from Prophet Muhammad into the hearts of the awliya, and from them into the seekers who carry the real legacy of guidance. These are the beings of unfathomable might, created from the most luminous light of Nur Muhammadi, meaning the divine light of Prophet Muhammad. This angel stands where no human eye can reach, at the junction where divine light enters a human soul. After the soul of Muhammad was created from the primordial light, Allah created an angel whose role had no precedent. Allah said to him, "Guard this light wherever it settles. Guard it when it travels through souls, when it is passed from heart to heart, and when it is carried by my chosen friends on earth." Thus began the Nasab Al Batin, the spiritual lineage that does not depend on genetics, does not depend on biology, does not depend on inheritance of blood, but travels through purity of heart, sincerity, surrender, and divine selection. This angel was assigned to ensure that the secret lights within prophets, siddiqin, and awliya were never lost, even if the world around them fell to ignorance. Every time a wali places his hand on a seeker, every time a murshid pours light into a student, every time a saint awakens a sleeping soul, Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab Al Batin is present. He ensures that the light is delivered correctly. Some hearts reject, some hearts distort, some hearts are unworthy. The angel filters them, that the seeker receives only what he is ready for. A strong light given to an unready soul becomes burden. The angel regulates the flow, that the transmission remains pure. Sufi masters say, purity of silsila is not in names, it is in the unseen angel who guards the secret. The visible chain silsila is ink, the invisible chain is light. This angel guards the chain of light. His protection is unlike any other angel. He protects hearts, not bodies. He protects inner states, not outward reputation. He protects sincerity, not appearances. He protects divine gifts, not worldly inheritance. He shields the siri, the inner secret, the waratha, the prophetic inheritance, the Nur al-Muhammadiyya in the hearts of the Aliya, and the subtle link between a murshid and his seeker. He prevents impostors from stealing spiritual authority, corrupted hearts from entering the chain, broken or false transmissions, the extinction of the inner prophetic legacy. Every authentic tariqah that survived 1400 years survived because of his protection. The great Sufi masters speak of him in veiled ways. The Qadiri call him Qadim al-Silsila al-Nuraniya, meaning the servant of the luminous chain. The Naqshbandi call him Malak al-Sirul Kalb, meaning the angel of the heart secret. The Shadili call him Rabbaniul Waratha, meaning the God-sent custodian of inheritance. In every Sufi chain there is a visible silsila of names and an invisible silsila guarded by this angel. The visible produces structure. The invisible produces awakening. This angel ensures both remain aligned. This angel's work intensified after the Prophet returned to his Lord. This angel protects the light placed in the hearts of the Sahaba, so it reached the Tabi'in uncorrupted. The secrets poured into the early awliya, so they passed into Sufi Turuk, the spiritual capacity of every future saint. So the Ummah never loses its guiding stars, the unseen bond between the Murshid and Murid, so spiritual parenting remains unbroken until Qiyamah. Near the end of time, when the world darkens and sincerity becomes rare, this angel will work the hardest. He will protect the hidden saints of the last era, children born with special spiritual mission, seekers chosen for the final cycles of guidance. And even when the Dajjal rules, the angel will shield the lost carriers of light. Before going further, a quick update. All our videos are available in both English and Urdu languages on our YouTube channel. You can find them by navigating to our playlists, where all our videos are available for your convenience. Quran does not name him, but it describes his work. Before humanity rose from clay, Allah announced the secret to the assembly of angels. As stated in Surah 2 verse 30, I am placing a Khalifa on earth, and when the souls were gathered in the realm of pre-existence, Allah took a covenant from every spirit. As stated in Surah 7 verse 172, Am I not your Lord? They replied, Yes indeed. It was in this realm that the hidden lineage of spiritual light began, and the guardianship of that lineage was given to a class of angels who would protect what Allah calls. As stated in Surah 24 verse 35, Nur, which we guide with whom we will. This Nur is not physical light, it is the Muhammadan spiritual inheritance with the Muhammadan light. Allah described the carriers of this light as stated in Surah 22 verse 75. Allah chooses messengers from angels and from people, and He described the chosen hearts who inherited. As stated in Surah 40 verse 15, He places the Spirit from His command upon whom He wills. This is the verse the early Tasawwufi master said refers to the unseen ruh which descends into saints and truthful ones to protect this transmission. Allah created an angelic order who witness every transfer of this light, as stated in Surah 82 verse 10 and 11. By the noble recording angels, honorable and virtuous, these angels are not only scribes of deeds, they witness the unfolding of a seeker's heart, they witness the sincerity of his oath to a murshid, and they guard the unseen thread that connects hearts in the path of Allah. And when the Quran says, as stated in Surah 58 verse 22, Allah strengthens them with the Spirit from Himself, the Tasawwufi master said, this strengthening is not given except through the hidden lineage of Muhammadan light guarded by the angels of light. Thus the Quran lays out the realm of the unseen chain, its light, its guardianship, and the angels who preserve its purity. The Sunnah does not name this angel, but describes his mission with clarity. The Prophet said, as stated in Tirmidhi, the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. The word inherit does not refer to money, it refers to light, sir, wisdom, guidance, and the spiritual lineage. This inheritance cannot be handed down by humans. It is delivered to the unseen angelic system. The Prophet revealed one of the deepest secrets as stated in Sahih Muslim. Hearts are between the two fingers of the All-Merciful. He turns them as He wills. The Sufi masters taught that this turning occurs through an angel assigned to every heart on the path. The angel who protects the transmission, lifting light from the heart of the Murshid into the heart of the Murid. Rasulullah once placed his blessed hand on the chest of Ibn Mas'ud and said, as stated in Sahih Bukhari, May Allah teach you the book. The hadith doesn't say teach you Arabic, it means the light of the Quran, the inner opening, the spiritual inheritance. The Sufis say an angel was present there, sealing that gift inside his chest. Another hadith of Ibn Majah describes the angelic role in transmitting unseen knowledge. The angels lower their wings for the seeker of knowledge, not just outer knowledge, but the inner knowledge that flows through the lineage of hearts. When a saint awakens a seeker, there is always a companion angel, for the Prophet said, as stated in Sahih Bukhari, for every servant there are angels who follow one another, and the strongest hint of the hidden lineage appears in the hadith of the awliya, as stated in Sahih Bukhari. My servants who draw near to me, I become the hearing with which they hear, the sight with which they see. This nearness is the final stage of the hidden Muhammadan inheritance, guided by the angel who protects the Nasab Al Batin. Lastly, the Prophet said, as stated in Tabarani, there are heirs of every prophet among my ummah. Who chooses these heirs? Not the people, not institutions, not family lines. It is chosen by Allah, transmitted through the Spirit, and sealed by the angel who guards the unseen lineage. In our previous videos, we also explored the verse on how Allah created every living thing from water, the creation of the waters above the dome and below the flat earth, the firmament dome above the flat earth, actual shape of the earth according to the Quran and Islamic cosmology, primordial waters of the heavens, the Kursi, meaning the footstool of Allah, the Arsh, meaning the throne of Allah, Law and Mahfuz, meaning the sacred tablet, the second creation of Allah, Al-Kalam, why Allah created the universe, the first creation of Allah, the 7 portals and dimensions of the universe, and discussed where Allah was before He created the universe. If you haven't watched them yet, please do. Now, let's continue. Their description and numbers. No one sees Him with the eyes, yet every seeker feels the ripple of His presence. Malak al-Hafiz al Nasab Al Batin, the guardian of the subtle, luminous genealogy, the hidden family of light, not blood. He is not one angel, nor is He a countless legion. He is a station, a rank among the angels. And within that rank dwell thousands upon thousands of spirits of light. They move like threads of radiance, interweaving through the hearts of the truthful, mapping the secret lineage that began with Nur Muhammad. In the timeless world before time, the Sufis describe him as an angel made of transparency, whose form is like a beam that curves, connecting one heart to another like a celestial umbilical cord. He witnesses every spiritual transaction, every bay'ah, every oath of sincerity, every moment a heart opens for divine influx. Some say there are 360 angels of this type, as many as the inner joints of this subtle body, that receive nourishment through spiritual inheritance. Others say they are 70,000. In harmony with the hadith, every day 70,000 angels descend, and still others say their number reflects the number of sincere hearts on earth, in every age exactly those who carry light, no more, no less. Thus their number grows and shrinks, not by birth or death, but by awakening. When a seeker receives spiritual opening, fath, another angel joins the chain. When a heart becomes veiled, an angel is withdrawn from the line. Their movements resemble the turning of galaxies, silent spirals of light circling around Qalb al-Muhammadi, the heart of Muhammad, which is the sun they orbit and the source they guard. Each angel holds a record of lineage, but not lineage of flesh. Rather, records of who inherited light from whom, who received wisdom from whom, who was guided through whose heart, and who belongs to the secret family of Allah. Not every saint sees them, but every saint is accompanied by one. Not every seeker senses them, but every true seeker is lifted by one, often without knowing the source of the warmth in his chest. When a murshid looks at his disciple, and light passes through the gaze, these angels record the moment like scribes of radiance. And when the disciple says yes, with sincerity, as the souls did on the day of Al-Last, the angel seals the covenant with a mark that is never erased. They possess no wings in the earthly sense. Their wings are moments of guidance, shadows of mercy, and currents of spiritual nourishment. They are called Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin, because they protect a lineage that is not written in DNA, but in the secret script of the soul, inked not in blood, but in light. Their role with prophets, before the world had a shape, before mountains rose and seas breathed, Allah created a single light, the Nur Muhammadi, the primordial radiance from which all prophets took their share. Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin was appointed in that very moment. He became the keeper of spiritual inheritance, the guardian of the chain of light that flowed from the Prophet of light to every prophet who came after Adam (LSLM) and to every heir of the prophetic heart. He knew each prophet not by their bloodline, but by their light line. When Prophet Adam stood alone in the garden, unsure of his place on earth, the angel whispered the first secret: your children will inherit your mistakes, but some will inherit your light. And in that whisper, Prophet Adam recognized that his fall was also a beginning, for spiritual lineage does not begin in paradise, but in repentance. The angel guarded that spark. When the flood raged and the world drowned, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin stood above the ark like a column of light. He lifted the hearts of those inside, preserving a lineage of purity that survived through the waters. It was not just bodies that were saved, it was the chain of the spirit. When Prophet Ibrahim looked at the stars and refused every false god, the angel wrote a new chapter in the book of lineage. the birth of the community of pure monotheism. He guarded the light in the heart of Prophet Ismail, then carried it to every prophet descended from him, a river flowing straight to Prophet Muhammad. In every test of Prophet Ibrahim, the angel preserved something more precious than his life, the continuity of divine light through his line. When Prophet Musa stood trembling before the burning bush, the angel stood behind him like a shadow of radiance, for the mission of Prophet Musa was not only liberation from Pharaoh, but preservation of a spiritual identity for a shattered people. Every time the Israelites forgot, the angel sought those among them whose hearts still held even a flicker of prophetic light. The angel was near. When Prophet Dawood spoke words that softened hearts, and when Prophet Suleiman commanded jinn and winds, their miracles were not mere power, they were inheritances of the Muhammadan light, flowing backward in time toward the fountain of prophecy. Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin protected that luminosity, so it would not be corrupted by worldly kingdom or earthly throne. When the infant Isa spoke in the cradle, the angel stood beside Mary, ensuring that the truth of his miraculous birth would be carried by the pure in heart. Even when the world drowned it in doubt, he guarded the connection between Prophet Isa and the Prophet Muhammad, two lights facing each other in the unseen realm. And finally, when the last prophet entered the world, with the seal of prophethood between his shoulders, this angel bowed, for his true work began here. He became the guardian of Silsila, the chain of transmission, the spiritual DNA that passes from heart to heart through teaching, presence, and guidance. He recorded every companion who absorbed light, every saint who inherited from them, every murshid who carried the trust, every seeker whose heart opened even once to the breath of Prophet Muhammad. He is the angel who watches over the secret family of the Prophet, not the family of blood, but the family of illumination. He is the unseen witness of every spiritual inheritance that flows until the last breath of the last believer on the last day. When we go back in time, Tasawwufi masters say that from the first breath of creation there flowed a hidden river of divine luminosity, the Nur Muhammadi, and Allah appointed a mighty silent guardian, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin, to protect this inner spiritual lineage from prophet to prophet until its perfection in Muhammad, and from him into his Aliyah until Qiyamah. When Prophet Adam fell upon the earth crying in regret, this angel was the one who brought to his heart the knowledge that above all creation stood the light of Muhammad, and through that light he sought forgiveness, saying, "O Lord, forgive me by the right of Muhammad." And Allah answered him because the inner lineage of Prophet Muhammad's light was preserved by this angel. The secret connection continued through ages. When Prophet Ibrahim was thrown into the fire, it was this angel who veiled him with a sliver of the Muhammadan light, turning the flames into coolness. When Prophet Ismail was laid for sacrifice, the angel guarded his heart so that the fragrance of submission, inherited from the final prophet's light, kept his fear from rising. When Prophet Zakaria and Prophet Yahya carried the burden of truth alone, they were sustained by the same hidden radiance. Then came Prophet Musa, the Kalim of Allah, longing for the ultimate unveiling. When he begged, "Rabbi Arini Anzur Ilayk, O my Lord, show yourself to me," Allah said that you can never see me, for creation cannot bear his majesty, and said, "Look at the mountain." Tasawwufi and Tariqat narrations say Allah instead cast the tajalli of the light of Muhammad, the light carried within the 124,000 prophets and the believing ummah of Prophet Muhammad, upon the mountain as a sign. This corresponds to the Quranic verse of Surah Al-Araf, verse 143, when translated word by word. When that magnificent radiance descended, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin was present, for he is the keeper of this very light. The mountain could not hold the weight of the Muhammadan tajalli and crumbled into dust, and Prophet Musa fell unconscious, overwhelmed by the brilliance of the final prophet whose spiritual inheritance preceded him in every world. Through that moment, Prophet Musa saw what no other prophet had seen before him, the chain of luminous spirits, each one carrying a drop of the light of Prophet Muhammad, a lineage preserved across millennia by this angel. The same divine secret appeared in the story of Prophet Yusuf, whose beauty, patience, and noble character were reflections of the same Muhammadan inheritance. The 7-year prison that was meant to crush him became a hidden retreat in which Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin guarded and refined his inner light. His father and brothers bowed not only to Prophet Yusuf the king, but to the trace of the master of all prophets and king of all kings, Prophet Muhammad, that shone through him. Each prophet from Idris to Suleiman, from Dawood to Isa, carried fragments of this radiant lineage by which they guided nations, performed miracles, bore revelation, and endured divine tests. And the task of Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin was always the same: to protect the spiritual bloodline, the unseen silsila of prophetic light, ensuring that every prophet received his appointed share of the Nur Muhammadi, and that the final prophet would inherit the full spectrum of their virtues. Thus, across centuries, through exile, prisons, wandering, miracles, kingdoms, martyrdoms, and revelations, this angel carried the sacred trust, the inner DNA of prophecy, from Adam to Muhammad, and from him into his spiritual heirs among the Awliya, the Siddiqeen, and the Salihin until the final hour. Role in Sufism and Tariqat. In the secret corridors of the Sufi path, where breath becomes dhikr and the heart becomes a throne, the presence of Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin is whispered like a fragrance more felt than spoken. While ordinary angels safeguard actions, bodies, or worldly destinies, this angel watches the hidden inheritance, the Batini Nasab, the spiritual bloodline that flows beneath all visible genealogies. The angel who guards the golden thread. The sheikhs say that long before the first tariqat was formed, even before the chains of silsila were carved into history, a radiant thread stretched from Nur Muhammadi across the hearts of men. It was fragile yet indestructible, unseen yet governing the scene. Whenever a seeker inherited a portion of this light, not by birth but by sincerity, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin descended, mocking them silently. He does not speak, yet his arrival is known. A sudden ease, a hidden opening, a pull toward a sheikh you have not met but somehow already know. Guardian of the silsila of light. Every tariqat has an outer chain, names, dates, teachers, students, but beneath it lies something much finer. The chain of transmitted light, the true nisbat, the real inheritance of the Prophet. The sheikhs teach that when this light passes from a murshid to a murid, it does not travel alone. Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin accompanies it, ensuring the purity of the transmission, the continuity of the prophetic secret, the protection of the inner covenant, the sealing of the murid's heart against spiritual corruption. It is said that when a murshid lifts a seeker from darkness to presence, this angel descends like a witness, signing the transaction of souls in the unseen. The angel who confirms the true heirs. Not every claimant to lineage is real, and not every bearer of the Muhammadan light is known to people. Therefore, the saints teach, when men dispute lineage, the earth remains silent. But when hearts claim prophetic inheritance, the angels speak. Among these angels, the one who speaks most clearly is Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin. He verifies the authenticity of a true sheikh, a true successor, a true inheritor of Nur, a child born with special spiritual imprint, a seeker destined to become a pole meaning kutub, or saint meaning wali. This verification is invisible to human eyes but unmistakable in its effects. Doors open, hearts soften, prayers are answered, and hidden protection unfolds. The angel present in Bay'ah, when a seeker places their hand in the hand of the Shaykh, outwardly it is skin touching skin, but inwardly, the Prophet said, he who gives bay'at to the true guide gives bay'at to the Messenger of Allah, Sufis Ad, and the one who witnesses. The covenant is Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin, preserving the spiritual lineage of the pledge. He records not the words but the state, not the outward pledge but the inner transformation. He escorts the seeker back to their world, with a new spiritual identity sealed upon the heart. Protector of tariqat children, not physical children, but spiritual children, those raised in dhikr, nurtured in adab, and guided with the milk of marifa. Just as one angel guards biological lineage on earth, this angel guards the lineage of souls within the tariqat family. He protects the myriad from losing their nisbat, from spiritual misguidance, from innovated teachings, from imposter guides, from ego that severs the chain. He guards the transmission, the way earthly angels guard tribes, companion of the saints in their retreats. When the awliya enter khalwa and the world begins to dissolve, there are angels who descend to guard their bodies, others to record their dhikr, others to protect from jinn and illusions. But one angel alone guards the lineage of the heart. That one is Malik al-Hafiz al-Nasab al-Batin. He sits at the invisible gate of the retreat and ensures the seeker emerges with the same silsila. The heart remains bound to its rightful lineage. The whisper of ego does not masquerade as revelation. The false claim does not enter the seeker's imagination. Thus, he is the silent judge of spiritual authenticity, the hidden bridge among turuk. Many saints taught that the angel travels among the turuk of the world, Qadiri, Chishti, Naqshbandi, Shadhili, Rifai and others, not to mix their outer practices, but to maintain the inner unity of the Muhammadan inheritance. He ensures that all turuk drink from the same source. The Muhammadan secret never becomes fragmented. Each path's special flavor remains pure. Light flows from generation to generation. Thus, while people argue over which tariqat is greatest, the angel quietly preserves the single river beneath all rivers, the hidden nasab that binds them as one family. Tasawwufi commentaries. Hazrat Imam Ghazali describes this angel as the invisible sentinel of divine inheritance, the one who guards the lineage of sacred light from corruption, delay, or misguidance. He narrates that just as a king places guards at every gate to preserve his treasury, Allah placed Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab Al Batin at the threshold of spiritual reality. Hazrat Ghazali emphasizes that this angel ensures that the luminous chain of prophecy flows unbroken, allowing each prophet to inherit the spiritual strength of those before him, and that this inheritance is what makes the heart of the faithful receptive to divine knowledge. In his writings, he calls the angel a keeper of the hidden waters of the Nur Muhammadi, sustaining the unseen energy that courses from Adam to Muhammad. Hazrat Ibn Arabi portrays Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab Al Batin as a luminous intermediary between the realm of the unseen and the manifested world. In his visionary accounts, the angel appears as a radiant being whose wings embrace the spiritual essence of every prophet, nurturing it like the sun warming the buds of a divine garden. Hazrat Ibn Arabi emphasizes that the angel's task is not merely protection, but transmission, guiding the light of Muhammad through every prophet and saint, so that the spiritual heritage remains alive across time and space. He asserts that to witness the angel even in Kashf is to glimpse the secret choreography of divine order, where each prophet's spiritual inheritance is meticulously preserved. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, in his Discourses on the Inner Path, declares that Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab Al Batin is like a guardian stationed at the axis of the celestial chain, ensuring the purification and continuity of divine gifts. He narrates that even when the prophets faced isolation, imprisonment, or persecution, this angel shielded their inner light, allowing them to endure tests and rise above trials. According to Hazrat Jilani, the angel also communicates subtly with the hearts of the faithful, whispering guidance and vigilance, connecting myriads to the sacred lineage of prophetic illumination. Hazrat Shams Tabriz speaks of Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab Al Batin in mystical poetry, describing him as a blazing torch that follows the path of the Nur Muhammadi through time. He likens the angel to a hidden river flowing beneath the surface of creation, carrying the essence of prophetic light to those destined to inherit it. Hazrat Shams highlights the angel's role in revealing the mystical interconnections of past prophets to seekers, emphasizing that spiritual insight comes to those who attune their hearts to the subtle guidance of this guardian. Maulana Rumi, in his flowing Masnavi, tells of the angel as the eternal custodian of spiritual DNA, the one who weaves the invisible threads of divine light from Adam through the 124,000 prophets to Prophet Muhammad and beyond into the hearts of believers. He writes that the angel sings in silence, harmonizing the celestial symphony of spiritual inheritance so that the hearts of saints and seekers resonate with the luminous lineage. Maulana Rumi portrays him as a protector, a guide, and a silent witness to the trials and triumphs of the chosen ones, ensuring that the inner flame of prophecy never flickers, even amidst the darkness of the world. Possibility of seeing them. To speak of seeing Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab al-Batin is to step into a realm where the veil thins and the unseen breathes close to human perception. This angel, the guardian of hidden spiritual lineage, is not approached through ordinary sight or sensory perception, but through the awakening of the inner eye that Allah Himself opens in moments of divine favor. 1. Seeing them in real life, with the inner eye awake. No human eye can behold this angel in the physical form, for his presence is woven from the light of pre-eternity. Yet the righteous sometimes see him in their lives through sudden protection of their honor, unexpected elevation in status, miraculous preservation of their spiritual state, or the mysterious shielding of their lineage from harm. Saints have said that when a person is destined to carry or preserve a portion of Nur Muhammadi, Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab al-Batin may stand near them like an invisible shadow of light, repelling whispers, pushing away calamities, and drawing their hearts toward purity. People do not see the angel's form. They experience the impact of his guardianship, a sudden turn of destiny, a rescue from disgrace, a pulling away from sin without knowing why. These are the footprints of the unseen guardian walking beside the chosen children of spiritual heritage. 2. Seeing them in dreams. Dreams are the realm where the unseen often takes shapes the human mind can understand. Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab al-Batin appears in dreams to certain seekers as a noble figure wrapped in white or green light, sometimes holding a scroll or a rope woven from light. The scroll symbolizes the hidden lineage of spiritual inheritance. The rope symbolizes the unbroken chain of divine connection, stretching from Adam to Muhammad and then to the awliya. Some see this angel as a luminous tree with branches made of nur, each branch representing a prophet's inheritance, and the dreamer may see themselves as a leaf shimmering on that branch. Sometimes the angel appears as a figure that guides the dreamer toward their true lineage, not of blood, but of spiritual descent. Dreams of being clothed in light, placed in a circle of prophets, or walking beside the prophet are also manifestations of the angel's work, for he brings seekers closer to their true spiritual ancestry. 3. Seeing them in kashf, meaning spiritual opening. Kashf is the opening of the inner sight, a gift that is granted, not achieved. In kashf, Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab al-Batin may be perceived not as a form, but as a presence, a wave of divine energy, an overwhelming purity that fills the heart with recognition. Seekers describe seeing a pillar of light or a circle of luminous beings standing around the spiritual lineage of a murshid. Sometimes the angel is perceived as a bright thread connecting the heart of the seeker to the heart of their sheikh, and from the sheikh to the prophet. In rare unveilings, the seeker may witness the rivers of nur flowing from the prophet to the awliya, and among those rivers is the guardian Malak al-Hifz al-Nasab al-Batin, standing as a sentinel over the entire map of spiritual inheritance. His presence is recognized by its effect: a sudden expansion of the heart, the dissolving of confusion, the feeling of being claimed by the spiritual chain, or a powerful surge of love for the prophet that seems to descend from above. rather than rise from within. Role in the afterlife life. 1. Role in the grave. When the soul departs from the body, the grave becomes the first stage of its journey into the unseen. Here, Malak al-Hafiz Al-Nasab Al-Batin assumes the role of a guardian of spiritual inheritance, protecting the departed from the whispers of shayateen and from the confusions that befall the souls not grounded in divine lineage. The angel surrounds the grave with a veil of light that is invisible to the human eye but palpable to the soul, a reflection of the eternal chain connecting the deceased to the Prophet and the hidden awliya. As the grave presses upon the soul, the darkness, the questioning of Munkar and Nakir, this angel manifests in the form of comfort and guidance, reminding the departed soul of their inherited light and fortifying it against panic, despair, and shame. The light of the Prophet that flows through the lineage, guarded by this angel, acts as a shield, softening the trials of the grave, illuminating the dark enclosure with whispers of mercy, and making the soul recall its true spiritual ancestry. 2. Role in Barzakh. In the intermediate realm, the soul experiences waiting and testing until the day of resurrection. Here, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin protects not just the individual, but the spiritual lineage as a whole, ensuring the threads of prophetic light transmitted from Prophet Adam through the 124,000 prophets down to Prophet Muhammad and his faithful ummah remain intact. The angel maintains the integrity of this divine network, ensuring that the trials of Barzakh do not sever the soul from its eternal heritage. Souls of the awliya, of those connected to prophetic nur, feel a continuous flow of spiritual support, an invisible current linking them across time and space. The angel's presence prevents corruption of inherited light and provides spiritual sustenance, sustaining the inner essence even when the outer world is absent. 3. Role on Qiyamah. When the trumpet sounds and the mountains quake, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin becomes the protector of the spiritual lineage during cosmic upheaval. As humans rise from their graves, the angel ensures that the nur of prophetic inheritance is manifest in those chosen hearts that have remained faithful, connecting them to their lineage of guidance. Just as the Prophet carried the culmination of the light of all prophets, so too does this angel ensure that believers carrying fragments of that light are shielded from annihilation or loss of their spiritual essence. The angel orchestrates the invisible support network, guiding the faithful toward divine presence and separating the strong bearers of prophetic nur from those unprepared. 4. Role in Mizan. In the scales of divine justice, Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin acts as a witness to the inheritance of nur, recording the weight of the spiritual legacy within the heart of each soul. Those who preserve the purity of the inherited light through obedience, love, and remembrance of Allah find their scales elevated by this unseen angel. Their good deeds are imbued with the subtle glow of lineage, their intentions multiplied, their spiritual inheritance protected. The angel ensures that the measure of the soul's alignment with divine guidance through its inherited prophetic nur is accurately weighed, highlighting the importance of spiritual lineage in the divine ledger. 5. Role on Pul Sirat, the bridge over hell. As souls traverse the Pul Sirat, the bridge over hellfire, the angel of hidden lineage functions as a guardian and guide, ensuring the faithful do not fall from the bridge due to weakness, confusion, or distraction. For those connected to prophetic nur, the angel extends a hand of light, a tether connecting them to the eternal lineage of the prophets, particularly Prophet Muhammad, and shields them from the assaults of shayateen, who would exploit their fears or weaknesses. The bridge becomes navigable for the spiritually prepared, the hand of Malak al-Hafiz Al Nasab Al Batin acting as both guide and stabilizer, enabling the inheritors of divine light to safely reach the gardens of eternity. Protection and awareness through a Kamil Murshid. In the journey of safeguarding one's spiritual lineage, the guidance of a Kamil Murshid is indispensable. This master, a living conduit of prophetic nur, works hand in hand with Malak al-Hafiz Nasab Al Batin. The angel communicates through subtle inspirations, dreams and whispers of the heart, but it is the Kamil Murshid who translates these divine signals into actionable steps. The seeker learns to recognize the traps of nafs, the seductions of dunya, and the veils that obscure the inherited light. Through disciplined instruction, dhikr, and muraqabah, meaning spiritual observation, the Murshid ensures that the spiritual lineage remains intact, that the angel's protection is fully activated, and that the student does not wander astray, for without a Murshid, even the purest light can be eclipsed by the veils of desire, ignorance or heedlessness. A Murshid awakens the seeker to the reality that every breath is a form shaped by zikr. By teaching breath zikr, the Murshid transforms the human into a being of continuous remembrance, surpassing angels. A Kamil Murshid, meaning a perfect spiritual guide, is considered in Tasawwuf the inheritor of the Prophet, guiding seekers on the path from clay, meaning nafs, to light, meaning ruh. The Kamil Murshid helps awaken this Nafas al-Rahman, meaning breath of the All-Merciful, within the disciple, also as stated in Surah Kahf, verse 17. Whoever Allah guides is truly guided, but whoever He leaves to stray, you will never find for them a Murshid, meaning a spiritual guide. Angels are always in dhikr, but their dhikr is fixed and limited to the forms Allah gave them. Man, however, through guidance of a Murshid, can transform his every breath into dhikr, making his remembrance continuous like angels, and even higher because it comes through free will. In Tariqat, the Murshid teaches Habs al-Nafas, meaning watching the breath, and Zikr Khafi, meaning silent dhikr. Every inhalation and every exhalation affirms Allah and He alone. This makes the seeker live in the constant rhythm of divine presence through the Quran. The Quran is the living manual through which Malak al-Hafiz Nasab Al Batin safeguards the spiritual lineage. Recitation, contemplation, and heartfelt connection with the verses awaken the angel's presence within the heart of the believer. When the seeker reads the Quran, especially passages highlighting prophets, the angel strengthens the connection to their nur, revealing the hidden link between the current soul and the line of prophetic guidance. Verses such as Al-Kahf, verse 30, "Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will not allow to be lost the reward of any who do good," resonate beyond their literal meaning, speaking directly to the continuity of the spiritual inheritance. The Quran acts as both armor and lamp, illuminating the path and activating the angel's vigilance over the soul through du'as. Supplication is the language through which the seeker communicates with both Allah and the angelic guardians of lineage. The Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab Al Batin responds to heartfelt prayers, guiding, protecting, and fortifying the soul against trials. Du'as invoking protection over progeny, spiritual inheritance, and the integrity of the heart activate the angel's presence, allowing the light of past prophets to flow unobstructed. Words of the Prophet, such as asking for guidance, protection from misguidance, and blessings upon one's lineage, become channels for angelic intervention, ensuring that the inherited nur remains radiant and uncorrupted. Acts to do. To remain under the angel's protection, one must cultivate spiritual attentiveness and purity of intention. Acts such as regular dhikr, recitation of the Quran, adherence to Sharia, acts of charity, service to the community, and maintaining the purity of one's family ties strengthen the angel's ability to safeguard the lineage. Engaging in sincere repentance, honoring one's parents, nurturing children with love and faith, and connecting with a spiritual guide further activate the angel's vigilance. Every righteous act acts as a reinforcement of the spiritual chain, allowing the inherited prophetic light to shine fully within the believer. Acts to avoid. Conversely, neglecting the soul's care, falling into heedlessness, indulgence in sinful desires, breaking family ties, or abandoning guidance weakens the angel's protection. Engaging in envy, greed, arrogance, and disregard for spiritual lineage creates gaps in the protective light. The angel watches silently as these breaches occur, But without the cooperation of the seeker, the inherited nur can diminish, leaving the soul vulnerable to trials, misguidance, and the influence of shayateen. Avoiding heedless distractions, unfaithful behavior, and spiritual neglect is essential to ensure the continuity of divine inheritance. So, dear viewers, the Malak al-Hafiz al-Nasab al-Batin is not merely a passive guardian, but an active, vigilant angel assigned to protect the hidden spiritual lineage that flows from the prophets down through faithful hearts across generations. Its presence is activated through discipline, devotion, and connection with a Kamil Murshid, illuminated by the Quran and reinforced by heartfelt supplications. Those who honor the lineage, purify their hearts, and remain steadfast in obedience experience its protection manifest in trials, guidance, and the continuity of the prophetic nur within themselves and their progeny. The angel ensures that even when the world's forces seek to scatter the light, the divine inheritance remains intact, unbroken, and radiant until the day of judgment, preserving the eternal bond between Allah, the Prophet, and the chosen faithful. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed this content and find it beneficial, we kindly ask you to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more authentic, faith-strengthening content. And let's continue this journey of knowledge together. Inshallah, see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.